In this video, I'm going to be making a bushcraft knife out of this piece of 1095 in front of you here. Now, I'm going to move on to cutting out the knife. I'm going to cut the piece of metal in half, and then I'm going to cut out the rough shape with the angle grinder. You can tell the steel is high carbon steel because the sparks are much more orange than mild steel. Now that I got the knife's final shape done, I'm going to put the bevel on it and then I'll get to the hardening process. When it comes to knife making, the bevel is always the hardest part. I just go at it with an angle grinder until it looks about straight. I found that to be the best way to go about grinding knives. Now that I'm moving on to grinding the bevel, you can skip forward to the timestamp on the screen if you don't want to learn how to grind a bevel on a knife. Now that I've put the rough bevel on the knife, it's time for the hardening process. When hardening a knife, I basically use the acetylene torch because I don't have any better system set up. While hardening a knife, I try to focus on the edge of the blade because that's the spot that really matters if it's hard or not. The rest of the blade does not matter nearly as much as the edge that will be cutting things. So that's where I focus my heat with the acetylene torch. And once it gets red hot is when I'll dip it in that bucket of used motor oil to quench it and harden it. I just use my Leatherman to hold the piece of metal while I slowly heat it up to red hot to dip it in oil. As I get close, I will move closer and closer to the bucket. That way I can get the flame nice and hot. That nice orange-red color is the temperature that I want to harden my blade. While hardening, you get this black oil substance that gets burnt to your blade. It doesn't really affect the product at all, you just have to sand it off. The way that I test hardness is I just skate a file across it, and that's the sound you're looking for. The file's just skating over the top rather than filing into the blade. As you can see back here, that's the sound of soft steel that hasn't been hardened. Now, I will be cutting the wood to make the handle for my Bushcraft knife. I will have a timestamp on the screen yet again if you want to skip through that. If you want to watch it, it's there. Now, I'm going to be putting the sharp bevel onto my knife here. I use a Dremel for it because it's much more precise than an angle grinder for the final bevel. After all that work grinding, this is the final result. I sharpened and blued the steel off camera because I frankly just forgot to record, because you forget that sometimes while making these videos. But anyways, hope you guys liked the result, and remember to like and subscribe and comment down below. Helps the YouTube algorithm.